Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trade People's Tip. We have a candy washing machine that is not switching on. Okay, so what we do, we set it to a program. Am I doing this incorrectly?
Yeah.
Right, now it's on. This is our on and off button. If we press that, it feels springy, but it's not doing anything. But if we go at an angle there, and you can see the buttons, they're kind of like standing proud, but this one looked like it's sunk in. Right, so what we're thinking now is probably the board behind is moved. So when you're pressing that, it's not hitting the actual switch behind. See those one? I put my finger just over it. You can, well, it's standing proud, and that one's sunk in. So we're gonna get it out of its little cage and open the lid and see if we're correct in what we're assuming, and take it from there. Back again. Now we've pulled our machine out, and just behind here, we're going to try and show you, because I can't see. There you go. There's one screw goes through there. There's three of them basically, alright? There's three of them. Those aren't the three, but they'll work. So you take that off, then you pull the lid backwards like that, and lifts off. That comes off. Put that to one side so it doesn't fall down, hopefully. Right, then you have two more same screws, one there and one there. Take those two out and you'll see the movement in there. But what we have now, we have round the front here, just inside there, you can see it's all corroded, looks like a torque screw, and again in that side. So we're gonna have to find some way of getting those out. I have got some torque keys, which I'm gonna try and find I'm gonna figure this out and get back to you. See you in a minute. This is where we're at. Our panel, if you look at the corner just there and just there, that's what holds it in once you've taken these two torque screws out, which are these two. Yeah. So that's what takes these two out of the front there, and they locate in here. So this part here, you just have to wiggle it about a bit till you get it out, because you can see what's holding it in is just there. Okay. Once we got that out, our panel, which is here, is held in by these clips. Just there, and at the bottom and the opposite side. So you just take something and just prise it out gently. But where we were saying the button is stuck in, or looks like it's pressed in further than the others, you can see that panel, that clip there, that's where it is, and you can see it's springing back on itself. These ones are flush, but that's not the real issue at the moment. What we found, I'm gonna have to try and be very careful with this, is you see those actually looks like the silver bit's missing off of that one, and that one, and that one. Right, that's got a silver cover on it. That hasn't, that hasn't, that has, those at the top have. But this is the one that is operating the on and off switch. So what we're going to do, oh, by the way as well, you also have a plug on the back of there, just there. So we're going to plug that back on and try it and see if it works before we go any further. We're going to just try and press the switch manually from here and forget about the button. And if not, that's what it's going to come down to, is this panel. Flipped it and plugged it in and everything. Make sure it's resting on the plastic casing, yeah? Now, this is our on and off switch. So if we press that one, I'm gonna use a pen. Press it again. You can see the light has stopped flashing. So that tells me that the switch is working. I'm not sure if it's supposed to press it once or twice. I press it again. The light comes back on. So I'm gonna switch it off again from the mains. I'm gonna fit this back into its casing, and then I'm going to try it again and see if it makes any odds. Why it's flashing and why the machine's not working, we're figuring it out, but we know that that is doing what it's supposed to do. So See you again in a minute. Let me just switch this off. Alright, see you in a minute. This is what's happened to us. You can see that the contact is covered with corrosion. Okay, that has come out of there. Again, corrosion, you can see it. So basically the switch is falling apart on us. So that's one thing you've got to bear in mind. In fact, once you get to that stage and you know what it is, I would suggest just leave it alone. Get someone in. Back again, this is the part where I think I should put in a disclaimer, is that what they call it? Now, I'm not no qualified electrician and I'm not advising you to do this, I'm just showing you how I did mine. Alright, now, there I showed you earlier on the corrosion. As you can see, I've cleaned that out. Could do a bit more of a clean, but I've just used a screwdriver and bit of tissue paper in between it, but I'm going to give it another little clean. Don't wet it. Yeah, no water inside there. And on there I flipped it over and I got my screwdriver and just scraped off as much of the corrosion as I can, but looking at it through the camera I could do it a little more of a clean. So I'm going to give this another little bit of a clean. There it is. Let's see if I can get some more of that crud out, but you can't really see that crud unless you have a magnifying glass or you're looking through the camera. But I'm going to try and do a little bit better. I can see I need to go around the corners a bit more. There we are again. I've given it another bit of a clean, but as you can see there's still a bit of crud right in the corner there, but you need a pin, you need a magnifying glass, you need to, in order to do this thing properly, but it looks good enough to me. So I've now got to get that bit there, flip it over face down in here without losing it. Then I've got to fit that red button on top and then that square on top of that to end up with, let's find one with the square on it. Alright, they've all lost the covers, which is that square silver bit. Anyway, let's just put this one back together and see how we get on. Again, I'm not a qualified electrician, I'm just showing you how I repaired mine. This is where I'm at. I've put it back together. Which one is it now? See, I've done such a good job, I don't even know which one it is. I think it's this one. Let me just see. Yeah, you can see a bit of tape around it. I've taped the lid back on because I haven't got no glue to secure it. So hopefully it will hold it. Let me just make sure it is the correct one I'm showing you. And it is. Or is it this one? No, it's this one. You see the tape around it? So I've taped the lid back on, wrapped it over and everything. Now, this button that I showed you earlier on, that I said was pressed in, if you look just across there and across the other one, you can see where it's signs of breaking. If you look at the others, they all look intact. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of sellotape right across here to kind of like give it a bit more strength. It's all I have at the moment, so that's what I'm going to use. So I've got a bit of tape there and I'm just going to tape it across there. Can you see where I'm talking about? Alright, so let's do that. As you can see, I've pushed it back a bit, but it's just going to keep sinking as you press it. See? Because it's weak just there. So the tape should kind of have a bit of strength to it. And we're going to fit our board back in this time without knocking off the clips. Right, I'm going to come back to you again in a minute. See you in a minute. And we put it back together and it's not having it. So on that note, because we've seen the extent of the damage, we're not going to go no further with it. We're just going to get the panel. It is about 20 years old, this machine. So yeah, it's done its time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. There's our washing machine doing its thing. And like I always say, you know, just do a little clean when you finish, make the thing look like, you know what I'm saying? Don't hurt. And people appreciate it. They might not say so, but look how good it looks and it's working. Now, I can't remember where I left off on this video, so I'm just going to start back from here. There's our front panel, okay? I've replaced it. Right now, you remember this button that I said you could see where the brake is on it, the cracks across the bottom there. See? There you go. That looks, you can see in it. Yeah, that's definitely had it. Okay, so we've replaced that, and on this panel here, if you have this same machine, turn it the right way out, you may be able to zoom in somewhere on here. Or is it on the back? There it is. If you got the same machine, that's your part number. So before you go stripping it down, you could order your bits. And what happened with this panel, not only did that button start, well, added, the cap, oh, hold on, door. Okay, as I was saying, on the board, you've got the number, and on here, the caps where I said I started falling off. I'm just going to try and show you this one. Basically, that's what's happened. That has come away, and inside there, this red button, you can see there. Trying to get it out. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, it's a bit awkward for me with the one hand thing. Alright, now that pops out of there, just like that. Just flip it for a minute. There you go. That's what happens. Alright, so you've got this little brass looking bit. The button, when you press down on it, like there, you press down. Yeah. That pushes this. This kind of like bounces. This is why you get that clicking noise. Just there. So just tap that, press it. Come off it. Can't hear it, but I can feel it. Anyway, that goes on, and this goes on top of it, and then this is held on by these little. You can see the little grey bits on the top, aren't you? That holds it on, and basically they've worn and they fall out, and that's the reason changing this board. You could try put it back together like I said, put that in first, that on top of it, but this thing here, because it's kind of like spring loaded, you got to make sure that it's facing the right way up or down, otherwise when you put it back, it's not going to work properly. There you go. See? Yeah, so it's got to face that way down. So when you press on it, you get that bounce, and then that one goes on top, and this one goes on top of that. And then you could just try putting some super glue around the edges to hold this bit on, and nothing to lose. Try that first. If your machine is accessible, why not? Okay, this bit I just want to tell you, when you put your board back in, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but you know, you see just under there, that's where it clips in, there, and both sides. So what you got to do, you got to locate it. Let me just turn that around. Under these, one, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them actually. So what we do, drop it in like that, locate it under those, line it up where it's supposed to be. You can do it either way, to be honest. I'm just going to try and do it. Can't do it with this one and at the door opening. I can hear people's business. You know what? I'm fasting. I'm a bit and I'm in life. Anyway, we do some tap talk. Yeah. So that goes under there, just like that. See where the edge is, and that one looks like it's not lined up properly. So let's try the other way. Get it under the front. Right. What you do, you put these two ends under first, okay? And then you press down at the back. I couldn't show you properly, but that's the easiest way I found. Once you fit it in, it's held in by these two screws here. So it go in like that and screw in. That is how it goes, isn't it? Yeah, just like that. and it's everything just there and there, 2 screws. And then once you put it all together, don't forget to plug your cable back in. All right, and that's it. I think, again, hopefully all the information there. I'm gonna have to mishmash this video together, but thanks for watching. See ya. Okay, anyway, once again, from tradespeople's tips, if you're out there robbing people, stop doing it, and if you ain't, keep up the good work. So till next time, from tradespeople's tips, people, take care of yourself, and we'll catch you later.